Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Thursday, October 26th at 2:01 p.m. and we are here for our regularly scheduled commission business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. With us virtually, we have Commissioner Irvin, Commissioner Thomas. Is Commissioner Thomas video or phone?
I am just
telephone?
Audio.
Audio, thank you. And then in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Caston, and Chair Belser. I note for the record that Commissioner Carolee Williams is on annual leave this week. Before we begin, would you join me for a moment of silent reflection? Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Powers.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Vice Chair Powers and Commissioners. The first item of business is to set the next regularly scheduled business meeting. Staff recommends that the next Commission business meeting be held on Thursday, November 2nd, 2023 at 2 p.m.
We will set our next Commission business meeting for Thursday, November 2nd at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Today we have 23 items on the utilities agenda and 19 items on the transportation agenda. Beginning with the utilities agenda, item numbers 1 through 5 are notices of termination of interconnection agreements filed by Bell South Telecommunications LLC, DBA, AT&T, South Carolina, and staff recommends these items be taken together.
That's fine. You want to identify the items, please?
Yes, ma'am. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2008-403C. This is the notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between AT&T South Carolina and Budget Prepay Incorporated. Item number 2 is in docket number 2005-275C. This is the notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between AT&T South Carolina and TNCI Operating Company, LLC. Item number 3 is in docket number 1998-207C. This is the notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between AT&T South Carolina and Carolina Electronic Service Company, Incorporated. Item number 4 appears in docket number 2002-87C. This is the notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between AT&T South Carolina and Comtel Telecom Assets LP, DBA Vartech Telecom. Item number 5 appears in docket number 2020-100C. This is the notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between AT&T South Carolina and Wide Voice LLC.
Commissioners, we've heard utilities agenda items 1 through 5 as identified by Mr. Powers. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
Thank you. I move the Commission accept for information the notices of termination for the interconnection agreements listed in items numbers 1 through 5 as outlined by Mr. Powers. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2006-159C. This is the request for approval of Amendment 5 to the interconnection agreement between Frontier Communications of Carolinas Incorporated and Comcast Phone of South Carolina Incorporated.
Commissioners, we've heard utilities agenda item 6 as identified by Mr. Powers. Is there a motion?
Yeah.
Vice Chair Powers is
I'd
recognized.
like to make a motion, please. I move that the Commission approve Amendment 5 to the interconnection agreement between Frontier Communications Carolinas, Inc. and Comcast Phone of South Carolina, Inc. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion on the item? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 7 appears in docket number 2023-154E. This is a letter concerning the confidential treatment of the testimony and exhibits of Maria Rampani and David Gabby, filed on behalf of Google LLC.
Commissioners, with regard to agenda item 7, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of Google LLC for confidential treatment of the pre-filed direct testimony and exhibits of witnesses Maria Rapani and David Gabby. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 8 appears in docket number 2023-10E, which involves the motion for admission pro hoc vici of Isabel V. Ariza, Esquire, and Dorothy E. Jaffe, Esquire, on behalf of Sierra Club.
Commissioners, with regard to Utilities Agenda Item 8, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the motion for admission pro hoc vici for Isabella V. Ariza, Esquire, and Dorothy E. Jaffe, Esquire, on behalf of the Sierra Club.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Excuse me, I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 is in docket numbers 2023-16E and 2023-17E. Staff presents for Commission's consideration final disposition of these two dockets.
Commissioners, with regard to Utilities Agenda Item number 9, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
thank you. I move that the Commission adopt and approve the stipulation reached by the Office of Regulatory Staff, Duke Energy Carolinas LLC, and Duke Energy Progress LLC. Consistent with the adoption of the stipulation, I move that the Commission find: 1, the company should schedule PP standard offer tariffs are reasonable. 2, the company's standard offer power purchase agreements available to QFs eligible for Schedule PP are reasonable. 3, the company's standard offer terms and conditions for the purchase of electric power are reasonable. 4, the company's proposed updated large QF tariff as reflected in the stipulation are reasonable. 5, the company's notice of commitment to sell form are reasonable. 6, the company's updated large QF PPA are reasonable. 7, the stipulated agreement regarding avoided energy cost is reasonable. 8, the stipulated agreement regarding avoided capacity cost is reasonable. 9, the stipulated agreement to use the proposed CISCs of $1.05 per megawatt hour for DEC and $2.20 for megawatt hour for DEP are reasonable. 10, all other stipulated terms and conditions are reasonable. There's an outstanding motion to strike portions of the LEI report. I move that the Commission grant the motion to strike. Upon hearing all testimony and context, it is clear to the Commission that the portions of testimony identified and objected to by the Duke companies are beyond the scope of the Commission's review of the issues subject to the current proceeding and are not relevant to the Commission's determination in this matter. I move that the Commission deny the request of Converse Energy for a separate hydro tariff. The evidence of record supports a finding that small power producers relying on avoided cost rates will be properly compensated for their power production under the proposed tariffs and rates being approved in this case. Pursuant to the requirements of PURPA, QFs are entitled to receive compensation for their generation at the utility's avoided cost rate. In this case, the avoided cost rates properly compensate all QFs, regardless of generation technology, for their electric production at the utility's avoided cost. Therefore, the Commission declines to adopt a new hydro-specific tariff. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin?
on line 9, Commissioner Caston, I believe that you may have indicated that the DEP megawatt number was 2.20, and I'm wondering if it should have been 2.26 megawatts for DEP. Would you consider amending that?
Absolutely, Commissioner Irvin. That's exactly what it should have been. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. I had a question by that myself. Any further discussion?
Madam Chair, I will not be voting in this matter because I was on annual leave during the hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin is recused on this matter due to being on annual leave at the time of the hearing. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Madam Chair, I was on medical leave at the time and did not participate in the hearing.
Thank you. Commissioner Powers is not voting, having been on medical leave at the time of the hearing. And I probably should have said Commissioner Irvin not voting, having been on annual leave as well. I lost track. Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston voted aye. Am I left? Commissioner Thomas, I'm sorry.
Yes, I vote aye.
And I vote aye. Did I get everybody? Okay, thank you very much. I believe that is a majority vote, and the motion carries.
Item number 10 appears in docket number 2023-213E. On October 19th, 2023, Duke Energy Progress submitted a letter requesting the Commission to carry over this item to give them sufficient time to review ORS's report. Therefore, staff recommends this item be carried over.
Item number 10 is carried over.
Item number 11 appears in docket number 2023-3E. This item involves the final disposition of this docket.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 11, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that the commission adopt the stipulation reached between Duke Energy Carolinas LLC, the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, and the Coastal Conservation League, and the Office of Regulatory Staff. I note that this results in a one-time agreement for disallowance of $2,566,491 in base fuel costs requested in this proceeding. Accordingly, I move that the commission establish the following total fuel factors to be used by DEC for the period beginning with service rendered in November 2023 and extending through October 2024. Residential service, total fuel factor of 4.0732 cents per kilowatt hour. General service and lighting, total fuel factor of 3.7156 cents per kilowatt hour. Industrial service, total fuel factor of 3.6009 cents per kilowatt hour. The impact of the above components to the monthly bill of a typical residential customer using 1,000 kilowatt hours per month is an increase of $9.14 or 7.1%. The impacts for average general service, lighting, and industrial customers vary by customer, but are approximate increases of 5.5%, 2.1%, and 6.1% respectively. In addition to these fuel factors, I move that the commission approve the following net energy metering values. For residential PV, 4.3473 cents per kilowatt hour. For small general service PV, 3.2049 cents per kilowatt hour. For large PV, 3.2533 cents per kilowatt hour. The DERP charge per account per month shall be for residential customers, $1, for general service customers, $2.08, for industrial customers, $96.74. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye as well, and the motion carries.
Item number 12 appears in docket number 2023-29S. This is a motion from the Office of Regulatory Staff to compel production of certain information and to hold this proceeding in abeyance.
Commissioners, we've heard the agenda item 12 identified by Mr. Powers. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the Commission grant the Office of Regulatory Staff's motion to compel production and to hold the proceeding in abeyance. Jacob Utilities LLC must comply with the motion to compel by responding to ORS's request 1-22, 1-28, 1-42, 1-44, 2-2, 2-4, 2-5, 2-7, and 2-15 through 2-25 within 10 days. An updated procedural schedule will be set at a later date by the clerk's office. I so move.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Any discussion?
Madam Chair, if I could elaborate a little bit, ORS's discovery requests are reasonable for a rate case. ORS states that they're asking for basic, relevant information that is needed to substantiate the company's proposed cost. According to the South Carolina Rules of Civil Procedure, parties can obtain discovery regarding any matter not privileged, which is relevant to the subject matter involved in the pending action, as long as it could lead to the discovery of admissible evidence. Privilege isn't being asserted here. Further, much of this information should already be readily available, and it is not unreasonably cumulative, duplicative, or too burdensome. I believe ORS has the right to examine the books and accounts of regulated utilities at any time. And I believe this is the appropriate motion to make, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Any further discussion, Commissioners? Commissioner, I tried to work through this motion as well, and I recognize ORS's charge and the statutory scheme that they follow, and that does require them to review and make recommendations regarding any rate case. While I concur, and it is my belief that the information they seek should be available, if it is not, the utility needs to tell them so, is the way I look at it. I'm not going to second guess what ORS feels like they need to look at or review in order to make their recommendations to us. This is a little unusual situation. I don't want to comment on the proposed rates themselves, but I think that ORS is trying to, from the reading of the pleadings, it appears that ORS is trying to fulfill its responsibilities under the statute, so I will be supporting your motion. Anything further, Commissioners? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 13 appears in docket number 2021-185E. This is a request for filing of the Second Amendment to the Renewable Power Agreement between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Eastover Solar LLC, and a request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 13 is identified by Mr. Powers. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request for filing of the Second Amendment to the Renewable Power Purchase Agreement between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Eastover Solar LLC, along with the request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 14 appears in docket number 2023-3E and concerns the confidential treatment of the corrected direct testimony and exhibits of Brandon S. Bickley filed on behalf of the Office of Regulatory Staff.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 14, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers.
thank you. I move the commission grant the request of the Office of Regulatory Staff for confidential treatment of the pre-filed corrected direct testimony and exhibits of Brandon S. Bickley. This testimony contains information held under seal by this commission by order number 2023-680. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 15 appears in non-docket number ND 2022-30E. This item involves a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff to withdraw from the membership on the Technical Advisory Team.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 15, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the letter of withdrawal sent by the Office of Regulatory Staff in this docket be accepted by the commission as information. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 16 also appears in non-docket number ND 2022-30E. This item involves notification from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC of resignation from the Technical Advisory Team.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 16, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the letter of withdrawal on behalf of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC and their representative, Leah C. Tondini. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, sir.
I'm so used to just saying Lee. The representative, Lee C. Tondini, in this docket be accepted by the commission as information. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 17 is also in non-docket number ND 2022-30E. This item concerns the status of the Independent Renewable Energy Integration Study and related matters.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 17, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission open a docket for the purpose of determining if it should initiate an independent study to evaluate the integration of renewable energy and emerging technologies into the electric grid for the public interest. I move that the commission also determine what is required for electrical utilities to integrate increased levels of renewable energy and emerging technologies while maintaining economic, reliable, and safe operation of the electricity grid in a manner consistent with the public interest. I move that the commission make this determination based on evidence presented during a formal hearing where the electrical utilities, interested parties, and the Office of Regulatory Staff have the opportunity to present their positions to the commission, subject to cross-examination by the electrical utilities, interested parties, and the Office of Regulatory Staff, along with commissioner questions. I move that the electrical utilities, interested parties, and the Office of Regulatory Staff address the following issues in their pre-filed testimony. 1, the necessity of an integration study. 2, procurement and management of an independent consultant to conduct the study. 3, identifying and eliminating possible conflicts of interest. 4, developing the scope of the integration study. And 5, any other issues the electrical utilities, interested parties, or the Office of Regulatory Staff believe are important for the commission to consider in deciding this matter. Finally, I move that the commission issue a certificate of appreciation to every member of the technical advisory team to memorialize their selfless service to the state in the furtherance of ensuring that South Carolina has a reliable, safe, and affordable energy future. Members of the technical advisory team may file to participate in this docket as allowed by commission regulations. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 18 appears in docket number 2016-412G. It's the request from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for the commission to allow its statistical meter sample plan to remain suspended until December 31st, 2023.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 18, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers?
by letter dated September 29, 2023, Dominion Energy South Carolina updated the commission on the status of its current inventory of natural gas meters. Due to supply chain issues and inventory shortages of natural gas meter and encoder receivers, Dominion Energy had requested suspension of its statistical meter sample plan. By order number 2023-43 issued on January 18, 2023, the commission granted suspension of Dominion Energy's statistical meter sample plan through January 31st, 2024. This is in order 2023-43. Dominion Energy is now reporting to the commission that shortage of natural gas meters and ERTs is resolved. Dominion Energy requests that the commission modify its prior order number 2023-43 so that Dominion Energy shall reinitiate its statistical meter sample plan in accordance with normal operating conditions effective January 1st, 2024. The effect of this request is to allow Dominion Energy reinstatement of its plan 1 month earlier than initially anticipated, which when requested in January 2023. The company reports that there is no harm to customers and waiving the suspension 1 month earlier will not increase Dominion Energy's overall operational risk. There is no change to any of DESC's retail rates or prices, and there is no change to any commission rule, regulation, or policy. So move.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 19 is in docket number 2023-304S. This is a request from Joan Anderson concerning all complaint forms filed against Blue Granite Water Company.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 19, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that the commission instruct the clerk's office to send a copy of all complaint forms from customers in the Fairwood subdivision to Ms. Anderson, as with any public records request, account information and personal information other than the name of the complainant should be redacted.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 20 is in dockets numbered 2023-304S and 2023-337S. This item involves a request from Blue Granite Water Company for a consolidation of these two dockets and Blue Granite Water Company's letter dated October 20th, 2023, followed by Vordman Carlisle Trawick III, Esquire.
Commissioners, with regard to Utilities Agenda Item 20, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that the commission consolidate all complaints against Blue Granite Water Company from customers in the Fairwood subdivision into docket number 2023-337S and instruct the clerk's office to place a copy of all the customer complaints in docket number 2023-337S. This action shall include the current complaint in docket number 2023-304S and all other complaints that have been filed by customers in the Fairwood subdivision. I would further move that the commission instruct the clerk's office to set a new procedural schedule in docket number 2023-337S, including a deadline for respondent Blue Granite Water Company to file its answer to the complaints no later than November the 27th, 2023. Ms. Anderson's hearing date, currently scheduled for November the 28th, 2023, should be canceled. Ms. Anderson's hearing date and all pre-filed deadlines shall be consistent with the procedural schedule in docket number 2023-337S. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Thomas, I know that Blue Granite made the request to consolidate, and I just want to note, I'm not asking to amend the motion or anything, but I do recall that in one of the emails from Ms. Anderson, and I believe it was the email where she asked for copies of the complaints, she also indicated that all the complaints should be joined for hearing. So I think that this is consistent with the complaint she filed and as well, and I would just note that for commissioners' information. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 21 is in docket number 2022-398WS. This item involves a status update from Defusky Island Utility Company Incorporated pursuant to Commission Order number 2023-396 and procedural issues.
Commissioners, before us is Utilities Item 21 as identified by Mr. Powers. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission direct the commission staff to hold a status conference with all parties on the status of this matter regarding the review of the management agreement, as amended, between Defusky Island Utility Company Incorporated and Costello Associates LLC by November 30th, 2023. So moved.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Caston, I do note that earlier this month, counsel for Defusky had filed a letter requesting a status conference, and I think there's been correspondence filed this week by the Office of Regulatory Staff as well, proposing dates. So I think it'll work very well for our staff to work with the parties to schedule such a conference. Just information. If there's no further discussion, and hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries.
Item number 22 is in docket number 2022-309A. This is a request from Condor Environmental Incorporated for confidential treatment of Jason Weaver's personal financial statement.
Commissioners, we've heard the utilities agenda item 22 identified by Mr. Powers. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Condor Environmental Incorporated for confidential treatment of Jason Weaver's personal financial statement. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
The chair votes aye, and the motion carries.
Item number 23 appears in docket number 2023-8E. This is a motion for admission pro hoc vici of Isabel V. Ariza, Esquire, filed on behalf of Sierra Club.
With regard to utilities agenda item 23, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the commission grant the motion for admission pro hoc vici for Isabella V. Ariza, Esquire, on behalf of Sierra Club.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda, items numbered 1 through 11 in Part A are requests for new Class C certificates. Staff recommends that these items be taken together, and I will review them for the commission. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2023-329T, which is the application of TransHealth NEMT LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 2 is in docket number 2023-330T, which is the application of T&E Transportation LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 3 is in docket number 2023-332T. This is the application of Chicora Tours LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 4 is in docket number 2023-333T. This is the application of Quakes Transportation LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 5 is in docket number 2023-334T, which is the application of GW Limo for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 6 is in docket number 2023-335T, which is the application of Dignified Alternative Reliable Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 7 is in docket number 2023-336T, which is the application of Dreams Transportation 143 LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 8 is in docket number 2023-338T. This is the application of A Taxi Alternative LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 9 is in docket number 2023-340T. This is the application of Japa Ed LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 10 is in docket number 2023-341T, which is the application of MACS Transport and Security LLC for a Class C charter certificate. And item number 11 is in docket number 2023-342T. This is the application of Purvis Services LLC for a Class C stretcher van certificate.
Thank you, Mr. Powers. Commissioners, we've heard transportation agenda items A1 through A11 identified by Mr. Powers. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
thank you. I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C certificates in items numbers A1 through A11 as listed by Mr. Powers. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have two requests to amend certificates. Item 1 appears in docket number 2007-427T, which is the request from Trolleys Incorporated to amend Class C charter bus certificate number 0251 to read Trolleys Incorporated DBA Sunway Charters.
With regard to motor carrier transportation agenda item B1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the commission grant the request of Consolidation Trolleys Incorporated to amend their Class C charter bus certificate number 0251 to read Trolleys, Inc., doing business as Sunway Charters.
Commissioner, I'm going to ask
Yes.
you to check the name of I think you said consolidation, and I think it's consideration. Consideration
Trolleys.
trolleys? Okay.
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm on a roll.
Well, I have the agenda in front of me, so it helps a bit. Okay. Consideration trolleys to amend their Class C charter.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number B2 is in docket number 2020-117T, which is the request from Silver and Gold Senior Transportation LLC to amend the passenger restrictions on Class C charter certificate number 9510-A to 15 passengers.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item B2, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of Silver and Gold Senior Transportation LLC to amend their passenger restrictions on Class C certificate number 9510-A to 15 passengers. So moved.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, we have one request for an extension of time. Item 1 appears in docket number 2023-195T, which is the request from Kenneth L. Boatwright Sr., DBA Red Top Cab Service, for a 9-month extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
With regard to agenda item C1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the request of Kenneth L. Boatwright Sr., doing business as Red Top Cab Service, for an extension of time until June 28th, 2024, to comply with commission rules and regulations. Kenneth L. Boatwright Sr., DBA Red Top Cab Services application for Class C non-emergency certificate was granted by Commission Directive Order number 2023-416, issued on June the 29th, 2023. This extension until June the 28th, 2024 allows Kenneth L. Boatwright Sr., DBA Red Top Cab Service, a period of 12 months from the directive order date of June 29th, 2023 to come into compliance. If the company has not come into compliance by June the 28th, 2024, Kenneth L. Boatwright Sr., DBA Red Top Cab Service may file a new application with the commission when the applicant is ready to comply with commission rules and regulations. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed with a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
In Part D of the transportation agenda, we have one request to rescind an order. Item number 1 is in docket number 2013-280T. This is a request from Carol Behan and Amy Malloy, DBA, Port City Car Service, to withdraw the name change for Class C certificate number 8768 and to rescind commission order number 2023-712, dated September 28th, 2023.
Commissioners, we've heard transportation agenda item D1 as described by Mr. Powers. Is there any discussion?
No, ma'am, but I have a motion if I may.
Commissioner Caston.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I move that the commission grant the request of Carol Behan, Amy Malloy, doing business as Port City Car Service, to withdraw their name change for Class C Charter Certificate number 8768 and rescind Commission Order number 2023-712, dated September 28th, 2023. The company's name on their certificate number 8768 will revert back to Carol Behan, doing business as Port City Car Service. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part E of the transportation agenda, there's one item. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2023-217T, which concerns a letter from Michael Luis Siguro received by the clerk's office on October 10th, 2023.
With regard to transportation agenda item E1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
On September 28, 2023, the commission denied the letter request of Michael Sergo, who was asking for reconsideration or further action on his complaint. The order denying reconsideration will be issued this week by the commission. Prior to issuance of the full order, but after the commission decision, Mr. Sergo sent another letter on October 11, 2023 to the commission about the same complaint allegations from July 11, 2023. The second letter, dated October 11, 2023, was received by the clerk's office as second request for reconsideration. Regulation 103-854 states that a party has one opportunity to file a motion for rehearing or reconsideration. In other words, unless otherwise provided by law, no cause of action shall accrue in any court of competent jurisdiction to vacate or set aside any order of the commission, either in whole or in part, unless a petition for rehearing or reconsideration and proof of service are filed with the commission and an order has been issued disposing of the matter. Mr. Sergo's complaint was dismissed for lack of jurisdiction by order number 2023-645, dated September 19, 2023. Commission denied reconsideration of that first order on September 28, 2023. Mr. Sergo has a right to appeal within 30 days from the date of service of the order denying reconsideration, which will be issued this week, to the appropriate judicial forum pursuant to applicable provisions of law as he complied with the requirements of Commission Regulation 103-854. It's also relevant to South Carolina Code Annotated Regulations 103-856. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part F of the transportation agenda, we have two requests for reinstatement of certificates. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2008-441T. This is the request from Carolina Forest Taxi Incorporated for reinstatement of Class C taxi certificate number 8093.
With regard to transportation agenda item F1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the request of Carolina Forest Taxi Incorporated for reinstatement of its Class C taxi certificate number 8093. The motor carrier Carolina Forest Taxi Incorporated shall have 90 days to come into compliance with all commission rules and regulations prior to reissuance of a certificate to do business. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in docket number 2018-135T. This is the request of Tarsha Anderson for reinstatement of Class C taxi certificate number 9346.
With regard to transportation agenda item F2, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Tarsha Anderson for reinstatement of its Class C taxi certificate number 9346. The motor carrier, Tarsha Anderson, shall have 90 days to come into compliance with all commission rules and regulations prior to the reissuance of a certificate to do business. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business notice before the Commission today.
Is there not a G1? Electronic Bill of Lading? I'm looking at the agenda.
Oh, there is a G1. I apologize. Yep. Section G is a request for the use of electronic bill of lading. This is a commission consideration of Coastal Carrier Moving and Storage Grand Strand Incorporated's request for the use of the electronic bill of lading.
Thank you, Mr. Powers. Commissioners, we've heard transportation agenda item G1 is identified by Mr. Powers. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers.
I move that the commission grant the request of the Coastal Carrier Moving and Storage Grand Strand for the use of an electronic bill of lading. So move.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries. Now,
Madam
Mr.
Chair,
Powers.
that concludes all the business before the Commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Powers. As there's no further business before the commission on the agendas for today, we will note again that our next regularly scheduled business meeting is scheduled for next Thursday. I've already forgotten the date. November
2nd.
November 2nd. Thank you, at 2 p.m. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.